Obviously your favorite... I know your favorite was BB-8. I'm just saying that these are my favorite. Oh. Hey there. Today we're talking about photo ops. Say cheese! Welcome to Teacup For One. My name is Matt, and I have 2 degrees. Another one of those questions that I get asked none of the time is, Matt, what was the thing that surprised you most about visiting the parks as a childless millennial? My answer? Easy. How much I loved meeting the characters. I know, right? When I made my first pilgrimage to Walt Disney World as a solo traveler, mere weeks before my 30th birthday, I fully intended to take all the classic pictures in front of the castle, meeting Mickey, meeting Minnie. But what I didn't expect was for the transformative experience of character meet and greets. They are so much fun! Yes, it's a photo op, but it's so much more than a photo op. It's an experience. It's an experience just like going on one of the rides or seeing one of the shows. You're not just there to pose for a really awkward picture with your favorite Disney character. You're there to meet them, to greet them. Hence, meet and greet. And of course, the photos are awesome. That's just an added bonus for Instagram and for the likes. Am I right? So today, I thought it would be fun to rank my top 5 character meet and greets at Walt Disney World in Florida. Now, how am I ranking them? That's the big question. We are looking at the character themselves in addition to the environment, i.e. the setting where you're meeting them. Basically, how good is the photo op? How Instagram worthy is the photo op? Is this going to go viral, or is just like my aunt who feels sorry for me going to give it the thumbs up on Facebook? Like, not even the heart react, just the thumbs up react. And finally, the experience as a whole. Because like I said, I think the character meet and greets are so much more than just a photo op. They're like a little mini play that you get to just throw yourself into. My one recommendation to note outside of this list is really just meet as many characters as you possibly can. Because even though these character meet and greets are amazing for the reasons I'm going to talk about, you can never be sure when you're going to have that one really magical character experience. And maybe you had a really great character interaction on one trip, but you can't exactly expect to go back and recreate that same experience. I tried. I met Daisy Duck on one trip, and then she read my future in this magical crystal ball, and then I went back this year about 2 or 3 years later, and then when I tried to get her to tell my fortune again, the crystal ball was broken. Point of the story. I can't necessarily guarantee that these 5 character experiences are going to be like the most magical part of your trip. That depends on a number of factors, first and foremost, how the characters or their friends are doing on that specific day. But these interactions, in my experience, have been tons of fun, super magical, and if nothing else, the production design, just for the characters themselves, for what they're wearing, as well as their entire setting, is top notch. So at the bare minimum, you're guaranteed to get some incredible Instagram shots out of these spots. Alright, here we go. Matt's top 5 character meet and greets at Walt Disney World. Number 5, meeting Scrooge McDuck at Donald's Dino Bash in the Animal Kingdom. So Donald's Dino Bash is a relatively new offering in Dinoland USA. The whole concept is that Donald recently found out that birds are descended from dinosaurs. So he decided to throw a giant dinosaur-themed party. And you know who he invited? All the ducks. That's right. All the ducks you could possibly want. It is so much ducking fun. You have Donald Duck, you have Daisy Duck, you have Launchpad McQueen, and you have Scrooge McDuck. Plus you also have Chip and Dale in adorable dinosaur costumes. But we're talking about the ducks right now. It was so exciting for me when I discovered that Scrooge McDuck and Launchpad McQueen had regular character meet and greets. Because I grew up from the generation that had original DuckTales. Now, because we have the DuckTales reboot, Scrooge McDuck isn't exactly a rare character or a raricter anymore. But for someone like myself who grew up in the early 90s, with DuckTales original plus DuckTales Treasure of the Lost Lamp, the movie, and Mickey's Christmas Carol, I've been waiting 30 years to meet Scrooge McDuck. And now I can just do it on any given day at Animal Kingdom. Dreams do come true. Number 4. The Edna Mode experience at Disney's Hollywood Studios. This is honestly what every character meet and greet should be like. It is truly an experience that is greater than the sum of its parts. If you visited Disney World before Toy Story Land opened, the Edna Mode experience is in the same building where I believe you could meet Woody and Buzz prior, but it has been given the most epic makeover of all time. I would go so far as to say it's incredible. When you are in line to meet Edna Mode, you are walking through a queue with museum-quality displays of all of her best super suits. That's right, you get to see Mr. Incredible's original suit, you get to see Elastigirl's suit, stretching, you get to see LeFou's own suit, and every display has a blurb by Edna herself about what went into the mechanics of making these very special pieces of equipment. Not to mention that the walls are adorned with newspaper clippings, retro posters, concept art, just various artifacts from the iconic career of Edna Mode. And then when you finally do get to meet Edna, you have a full appreciation for the icon that you are standing before, and if you're lucky, she might give you a makeover. She gave me a makeover. It was actually hilarious. I got some of the best photos of that entire trip because of the fashion-forward thinking of Edna Mode. Number 3, Snow White in the Germany Pavilion in Epcot. Admittedly, I am breaking my rule here just a little bit. I didn't want this list to be informed by my own personal experiences, but the best character encounter, the best character meet and greet, the best character experience I have ever had in a Disney World theme park was Snow White in the Germany Pavilion. To be fair, if I'm going by the criteria I'm using for the rest of this list, I would probably pick the Anna and Elsa meet and greet because the production design there is so much fun. For the queue, you get to walk through their summer house, you see artifacts from their childhood, and then the actual photo ops with both Anna and Elsa are gorgeous because you're standing in front of a giant window. When you meet Anna, it's Arendelle during the summer. When you meet Elsa, it's Arendelle during the winter. But it has also come under fire in the last little while because I believe, at least at the time of recording this video, they are now in their Frozen 2 costumes, which design-wise, a lot of folks don't really love what Elsa's been wearing. Plus, they're kind of spoilers if you haven't seen Frozen 2, but it's on Disney Plus now, so you have no excuse. Anyway, my point. Snow White in Germany. I generally feel like when you meet face characters at Walt Disney World, 90% of the time it can be a little awkward, it can feel a little forced, it can feel a little bit scripted. And of course, these characters are meeting hundreds of people every day. It's totally fair to assume that they're just going to sort of fall into a routine of saying a lot of the same things, because of course they're going to be getting the same questions from a lot of folks. When I met Snow White, I felt like I was the only Matt in the world. But it wasn't just me. When I was in line waiting for my turn to meet Snow White, she was giving so much care and attention to every single individual and family that came through to meet her. If she was interacting with a little kid, before saying goodbye, she would do the classic sweet, like, dwarf kiss thing on the forehead, just... And no, before you ask, I did not get that, nor did I expect it. I'm not creepy. Intentionally. Now, when it was coming up on my turn to meet her, I figured, okay, there's kind of a line behind me. To be fair, she probably needs to spend more time with the kids, so I was completely prepared to just take my picture and be on my way. But she still dedicated the same amount of time and attention to me, a childless millennial, as she did with the kids. And it was so amazing. She taught me how to make a wish in the wishing well. I had a little stuffed elephant with me. She asked me what an elephant was. I explained it to her. We started talking about Kylo Ren, but she didn't know who that was, but I said he can read people's minds, and she said, oh, well, I don't know who that is, but I wouldn't want him to read my mind because I don't want him to get my gooseberry pie recipes. It was a lot more cute and less creepy when she did it. Just trust me. I don't know. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think the best character experiences happen at Epcot. Put that on the record. Print it. I said it. Done. Moving on. Number 2, the stepsisters in the Magic Kingdom. I think it's important to note that this is the only character experience on this list that does not have a dedicated meet and greet location. The stepsisters you can usually find meandering around somewhere in Fantasyland. And I know I said I can't guarantee any specific kind of experience with meeting these characters, but 99.999 infinite 9% of the time when you meet the stepsisters from Cinderella, something hilarious is going to happen. The first time I met the stepsisters, I had them sign my autograph book that had stamps from all the countries in World Showcase. They started going through all the countries and then teaching me how to meow like a cat in the native tongues of all those countries. It was a dream come true. And the main reason I recommend this character meet and greet so high up on the list is because they are so hilarious. It's going to result in some of the best candid pictures of your trip. And finally, the number one character meet and greet experience at the Walt Disney World Resort in Florida is Red Carpet Dreams starring Mickey and Minnie at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Now, first off, it's important to note that you can meet Mickey and Minnie in any of the theme parks. Personally, I feel like this is the best spot to meet both of them. And here's why. First off, the experience itself is stunning. The entire meet and greet is structured around kind of the red carpet glitz and glamour that goes with kind of old-fashioned Hollywood. So you're going to meet Minnie Mouse first, and she is dressed to the nines for a red carpet premiere. She's got a really beautiful pink dress on, and in my experience, Minnie Mouse on the red carpet is just like a touch sassier than Minnie Mouse anywhere else. The first time I met her, don't tell Mickey, but she wanted to run away with me. We fell in love, and I have the pictures to prove it. And after you meet Minnie, you get to walk down this beautiful hallway that is lined with these stunning living movie posters before finally meeting the main attraction, the main mouse himself, Mickey Mouse. But not just any Mickey, Sorcerer Mickey. He has the sorcerer's hat, he has his red robes, he is surrounded by this beautiful castle set with a window, including a magical shooting star, and you have the soundtrack to Fantasia playing ever so lightly in the background. Like I said, you can meet Mickey and Minnie in any of the 4 theme parks, but if you're only going to meet them once, this would be my pick, and this is why. First off, you get to meet 2 characters for the wait time of 1. Next, this is the spot to get the most visually impressive pictures with them. It's a combination of the set pieces as well as the costumes. Anyway, up to you. Point is, if you want the classic Disney magic pictures with Mickey and Minnie, you're going to want to walk that red carpet and have a red carpet dream. Alright folks, that concludes tonight's episode of Teacup For One. I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What is your favorite character meet and greet across any of the 4 parks? And if you would like to hear me talk at length about Walt Disney World or even some of the Disney movies or Shakespeare or watch the droid beauty pageant that I'm putting together, please consider subscribing to the channel by clicking on my face. Alright folks, thanks for joining us for yet another Teacup For One. Matt out. Watch another video. Thanks.